In a small town where the sun burned hot and the streets buzzed with life, there was a boy named Emeka. Emeka was a very smart boy. He was different, not because he wanted to be, but because fate had carved it into his skin. A scar, jogged and cruel, run down the side of his face, marking him forever. It was a reminder of an accident he barely survived, one that took his mother away and left his left eyes damaged forever. A cruel mark left by an accident no one liked to talk about. He covered it with an eye patch, not to hide his pain, but to shield the world from it. His father, a hard-working carpenter, wearing dusty old clothes, was taking care of Emeka alone. After he lost his wife, he was always working very hard to give the best to his son. He had always told his son, "My dear son, a real man isn't measured by his looks, but by the contents of his heart." But at school, nobody cared about his heart. Whispers followed him everywhere. The whispers followed him like shadows he always tried to shake off. The laughters echoed like knives in his back. "Look at his face," one girl sneered. "He looks like a broken pot," another boy chuckled. Kids always make fun of him. While he walks, they stay away from him, and no one wanted to be his friend. "Hey, pirate boy, one-eyed monster, he should just stay at home and not spoil the name of our school." But the worst was Toby, the school's golden boy. Toby had it all: money, charm, popular and untouchable. His father owned the biggest pharmacy in town, and he had everything: the best of clothes, the best of shoes, the best life, and the power to make everyone's life miserable. And he chose Emeka. "Why do you even come to school?" Toby sneered one morning, leaning against the classroom door. "What are you, a pirate or a villain?" They were making fun of him, but Emeka didn't flinch. He had learned to wear silence like an armor and take everything they threw at him. But deep inside, something was breaking. He was hurting, and every insult reminded him of his mother for the sacrifice she made to save him. One afternoon, Emeka saved up his lunch money all week just to buy his favorite meal: jollof rice and grilled chicken. He walked into the cafeteria. His stomach was growling, but as he was about to sit, the cold wetness struck first. It spread through his trouser, clinging to his skin. Cold liquid soaked through his pants. Someone had poured water on his seat to make fun of him. Then Toby's voice rang out. Emeka peed himself. Everyone at the cafeteria started laughing and making fun of him. Look at his wet trouser," a boy said. "Maybe he saw his face in the mirror and got scared," another one said. Emeka's finger dug into the table. Heat burned behind his eyes, but he refused to let a single tear fall. Slowly, the cafeteria went quiet again. He stood up, wiped his pants, and looked Toby dead in the eyes. "I may be wet, but at least I am not drowning in stupidity and arrogance like you." Everyone was shocked at how bold Emeka had become. Some students even nodded. Toby's smirk disappeared. His jawline tightened. Emeka picked up his tree and walked out. But inside, he was breaking apart. And Toby, he felt insulted. He wanted revenge. The next week, there was a heavy rainfall. The schoolyard was soaked with rain, turning the ground into a muddy mess. Toby and his gangs were waiting. "Where are you going, one-eyed Emeka?" Toby taunted. Emeka ignored him and walked on. But before he could take another step, he stumbled and fell face flat into the thick black mud. "Now your face matches the ground," Toby mocked. Mud dripped from Emeka's hair, his clothes, his scarred face, but he did not cry. He got up, wiped his face and walked away. But deep inside, something cracked. Something important. The humiliation was just too much. That evening, Emeka sat behind the school building, knees pulled to his chest. He was tired. Then he heard soft footsteps approaching him. "Why are you sitting alone, my boy?" He looked up and it was Baba Kule, the old school cleaner. His silver hair was shining in the evening sun, but his hands were worn off from years of hard work. But his eyes, they were wise. "Why are you sad?" Emeka hesitated. Then he whispered, "It's Toby. He says my scars make me ugly." Baba Kule sighed. "Why all this? When will all these rich kids stop looking down on the poor?" Talking to no one in particular, he reached into his old shackle bag and pulled out a small jar and placed it in Emeka's hand. "Rub this on your scar every night," he said softly. Then he leaned closer, his voice low. "And the next time they insult you, just say thank you." Emeka frowned. "Thank you? And how will that stop Toby?" But he was too tired to argue. That night, he rubbed the ointment onto his scar. It smelled of herb and secret and something ancient. It tickled. He placed the jar under his pillow and closed his eyes. Tomorrow will be another battle. The next morning, just like clockwork, Toby and his gangs were waiting outside the school gate. Immediately they saw him, they shouted, "Hey, one-eyed Emeka!" He sneered. "Has your face melted off yet?" Laughing at him. But Emeka smiled. He looked Toby in the eyes and said, "Thank you." Toby blinked. "What?" "I said thank you." He then walked past Toby like he was nothing, with calmness, no reaction, no anger, just calm confidence. Toby's finger twitched. Something about Emeka's reaction bothered him. And that night, something strange happened. The next day, Toby's seat was empty. At first, nobody cared if he was in school or not. "Or maybe he is late," one of his friends said. But during lunch break, he was still not in school. So rumors started spreading like wildfire. Someone said he saw him at the hospital this morning. His father had rushed him in the middle of the night. His face, something was wrong with his face. When he returned to school days later, he wore a bandage over one eye. And when he finally removed it, a scar ran down his cheek, just like Emeka's. His own friends started to make fun of him and started avoiding him. Seeing that he was helpless and had the same scar as Emeka's, he never bullied Emeka again. In fact, he avoided him completely. As for Emeka, he never stopped wearing his eye patch. Not because he needed to, but because some things are better left a mystery. And if only they knew why he wore an eye patch to school, they will never dare to laugh again. Moral of the story: some scars are warning, some lessons are learned the hard way, and sometimes some things happen to us for a reason. The end. Please don't forget to like, share your comments, and subscribe to this channel. Please, it is free to help us grow this channel. And don't forget to hit the notification icon to get notified anytime we post a new story. Thank you and bye.